Well, let's move on to this because so this is the HD8 that Sennheiser loaned me as a review unit, and they've very generously let me keep it for just a bit longer so I could do this video with Ron. And you've had a listen to these, so what do you reckon? Because these are meant to be, the HD25 was never really designed for DJ use, even though it became very popular. It was designed for more like field recording or studio engineering on that kind of thing, whereas this headphone was designed from the ground up to be for DJs.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess the probably the first thing I noticed with these is sound-wise, there's a little bit more low end compared with the HD25s. I'll probably be using the HD25 as a reference very often here.
Right. Yeah. Same with me and the inferiors. I mean, these are kind of based on that same signature, though they are tweaked.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I feel like it's a little bit more low end. But the interesting thing I found is one of the really popular features with the HD25 is the high end is really clear and it's quite forward.
Yes.
And so that lets you sort of pick out those percussive elements when you're mixing. But with this, I found that it's sort of a little held back.
I found with the HD8s when I was listening to them that I was surprised because even though they were meant to be based on the inferior and the HD25, the treble is not nearly as forward. It's not nearly as like kind of aggressive. And I was trying to think of why that may be good for DJs or what they were thinking with that.
Yeah, so I guess I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. Yeah. I feel like the HD8s, like they're still, because of the level, like the other big thing with these is the noise isolation is just insane. But I think that goes a long way to letting them sort of tone down the high end a little bit.
Yeah,
so I think maybe they're thinking along the lines of, we isolate. I would say that these isolate better than the HD25s.
Yes, just purely from being an around ear
fit. Being an around ear fit and sort of the extra clamping force compared with the HD25 as well. I think that lets them get away a little bit with perhaps rolling back the high end. My potential issue with that is most DJs are pretty deaf, and they're mostly deaf on the higher end of the frequency range. Most DJs, the first thing that goes is just about anything.
But I wonder if that's because of headphones that have amped up high-end treble that they do go deaf, and maybe Sennheiser is trying to...
Yeah, maybe it's their little way of trying to help out the community. It's like,
maybe.
We'll give you, instead of giving you a headphone that doesn't isolate well and you got to crank up the volume and kill your ears with high-end, we'll give you a really well isolating headphone, and you don't have to crank it up so much to get the treble, I guess.
What do you reckon of the build?
This thing seems solid for me. Probably the first thing that caught my eye, these little hinges over here.
Those are sweet.
Yeah,
that's
this
that's the signature on the HD8.
Having this sort of solid click thing is it lets you sort of put like I was talking about the one-eared thing, etc. And that really makes a big difference there. The rest of the build quality seems really solid to me. I think a potential downside with these is that they actually look nice, which means that there might be some potential if you drop them, etc. Maybe the earpiece gets scuffed or something.
Yeah,
like
I guess. Yeah, the thing about the HD25, it felt very, it's not the prettiest looking headphone in terms of finishing, but it also just feels like such a thing you can just toss around. Whereas that looks like I said in my review, I thought the HD8 is for people DJs who want to treat themselves, kind of want to feel good about the thing they have.
Yeah, it's definitely it's like a premium sort of pitched headphone, I think. It's really comfortable when you're wearing it. The padding, the cushioning, like these little sort of bits here and there. It's really, really soft and comfortable, and it's not overly soft either, so you can you still get a firm sort of clamping force around your head. I think the adjustability with these, I think the other big thing is that this little twist in the hinge over here, this makes a big difference, because whenever you're trying to don a pair of DJ headphones, you're normally doing it in a rush. It's like you're looking for a track, and then oh yeah, cool, I found the track, and sort of quickly chuck them on.
Right.
And when you put them on, it's like that. Being able to have that little twist means that even if you don't put them on perfectly the first time, you don't waste that second or two just trying to get them lined up on your head properly. So I think that's a really neat feature.
And this is why I have to ask a DJ about this, right? Because I don't know any of this stuff, right? I can say that DJs, you know, like these kind of features, but in the end, it's always going to be, you know, from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, they're little things, but you get annoyed. It's yeah, the benchmark's always been the HD25 for me, and it's like whenever it's like, yeah, these things don't have a wiggling metal hinge, but I mean, because of the way that it's built, it twists anyway.
Yeah.
And it's adjustable, and you get this thing happening.
Right.
You'll be surprised the amount of people that actually use that.